Okay, so we are live. So I'll first take the questions. What was sent? Okay, I will start with your question, Katrina, so that in case Richard comes, then I can answer. So your question here is that your three questions. So when you talked about sampajanya of indriya, I understand it having the mind focus, knowing the senses. What about understanding instead that actually this experience is not different from the experience, be it a sound, or taste or touch, etc. One is not different from that experience, be it sound or taste or touch. If we don't grasp something, if we don't attach to the concept of its name and form, so isn't sampajanya of the truth is more accurate, having the mind focus, knowing one is arising and disappearing, another arising and disappearing? Yes, that is correct. That you can see the anicca nature in that, it works. So there are various approaches. There are so in the what we can say in the Samadhi Sutta, that's the reason Sariputta gives many illustrations on whichever works for whoever. So he gives many of them. So they keep on asking him, there should be another way, there should be another way, there should be another way. So this is something like that. If you understand, like, the question is that is a sutta required to understand Buddha Dhamma? The answer is both yes and no. The no portion is, let's say somebody has penetrated into the anicca or dukkha or anatta. Out of the three, one of them is penetrated, that's sufficient, and then you don't require many suttas to recite or understand or deal with it, because that itself will do the cleansing. So, in the definition in the Abhidhamma, he talks about the Moha Delusion. And the delusion is all about not knowing anicca, dukkha, anatta and asubha. These are the four things what he talks about. Let's say I have understood and I have penetrated the anicca nature, that is arising and passing away. I'm able to see it. Now the question comes, should I do something else? The answer is no. You can be a sotapanna, it automatically takes you to sakadagami, it automatically takes you to anagami, it automatically takes you to arhat. Because how it works is, if somebody has penetrated anicca nature, especially anicca nature, there is something called as anicca sanya. Sanya means perception. So the arising and passing away perception takes you out of the mental state of feeling that I like this and I don't like that. That will go away. Okay, because the person can see the dukkha. So when a person can see the dukkha, it becomes easy for him to understand the first noble truth. So once a person has understood the first noble truth, that means understood in the sense that he or she is able to experience the first noble truth, and that gives him or her a complete clarity on how the birth happens, the jati, the birth as a condition happens, and then how it transforms itself into aging, and how that transforms into death, and how that transforms into sorrow and lamentation, grief and all of that. So a person can definitely go deeper if he or she has to penetrate either anicca or anatta, either of one of them. Okay. There are very few people who penetrate both, but if you're able to do both, it's fantastic. But instead of both, if you own one, you are able to penetrate, then this works automatically. The indriyas, the person is able to withdraw, and he comes to know that there is nobody who is seeing, and there's nobody who is hearing, there's nobody who is tasting and touching and smelling and all that. So the I goes away. I am seeing, I am hearing, I am tasting. The anatta is experienced, right? So when I experience anatta. So I know conventionally I'm using the word I, but internally I don't have any I at all. So then what happens? Automatically the name and form goes away. Because name and form comes with personality. That is atta. Atta is the personality. So now it is anatta. There's no personality. So when I don't have a personality of my own, the stress is no longer there. The vexation is no longer there. And since I don't have any vexation, I'm in Nibbana, because the aspect of Ragakhayo, Dosakhayo, Mohakhayo happens for there is no person, there is no personality, right? So if I am in that Sampajanya, absolutely fair, you don't have to do anything, it's automated process. So now the line is clear. That means I am on the track and the train is going towards Arhat, and it just goes automatically. You don't have to necessarily do something very strong enough to get into that state. Okay, so there are many ways of doing it. So one way, what I spoke about, of understanding conditionalities. Another way of doing it is by experiencing paticca samutpada or dependent origination. Another way is to penetrate through anicca dukkha anatta. Now the question comes, the lakkana, tilakkana, which is the three characteristics. If somebody were to penetrate, what is going to happen? That's all he or she is supposed to do, nothing else. And automatically the person would come to know the Rupa Anicca, Vedana Anicca, Sanya Anicca, Sankhara Anicca, Vijnana Anicca, and a person will know that. So in the Girimananda Sutta, Buddha explains the 10 sanyas, and if somebody perfectly practices that 10 sanya, he doesn't or she doesn't have to go through 100 different suttas at all. So the basic thing what I need to understand for myself is, am I able to penetrate the anicca dukkha anatta nature? Let's say I'm not in a position to do that for whatever reason, whether my mind is not stable enough or something is not working, or I don't have the paramis or whatever. I can give various reasons to it. Then I have to find different ways of coming to that. So, and hence 84,000 suttas of Buddha is for different kind of mentalities. So he divided it by Anguttara Nikaya, then you have Majjhima Nikaya, then you have Digha Nikaya, then you have Khuddaka Nikaya, and all of that. Otherwise, there was no need for making so many different Nikayas at all. That it's for a different kind of mentalities. So, to fix those mentality issues, you require these things. Otherwise, there is no need at all to make it in that way. So, there are 5 indriyas, so we need to see which of the one is suitable for me as 5 indriyas. That means I have Shraddha indriya, that is faith. Then I have Virya, that is the effort or the energy, like that. And then a Panya indriya, wisdom. Then I have Sati indriya. Then I have Samadhi indriya. So these are 5 indriyas, and for the 5 indriyas you have something to do with what is my state, whether I'm in the saddha, that is faith. So if a faith is there, there are suttas depending on the faith. If I'm a person who is more on virya, that is the energy, I have a lot of energy to do, to investigate, then there are nikayas for that. So I need to know for myself what it is. Let's say I'm not able to get any one of those. I may not able to understand because of the language barrier or because of cultural barrier or whatever it is. Then the best thing to do is to work out on anicca dukkha anatta asubha. That's sufficient. I don't have to go through this grind of going through many things to understand, but it's good to do it. I'm not saying it's not good to do it, but is it required to do like that? No. Answer is no. So now I come to the second question. You mentioned about illusion, shortly noting that dana is not important, if I got it right. Why so? Isn't developing generosity, which is an important factor as a part of metta and karuna, isn't it also influencing to detach from my and I to develop anatta? What I said is that it is part of 10 immoral, which is miccha ditti, wrong view. And Buddha talks about the 10 things in that miccha ditti. In that, one of them is there is no need for giving donation. Okay, it's not that he's saying that donation is not good. There is a wrong view. A person takes a wrong view that the donation what I'm giving, this person is not, what I can say, doesn't justify my donation. Let's say I want to donate $1,000 to someone, and I feel whether he deserves that $1,000, and I want to know whether he's going to use it for good purpose or bad purpose and something like that. And now I feel that if I were to make the dana or the donation, it might not make any sense. So I will say that doing donation is of no use. So that is a wrong view. So he says there are 10 of these wrong views, and once a person corrects the wrong view, he gets into the right view. So he talks about those 10 things which are required for a person to understand that what he should be doing. So one of them is dana. Then one of them is to prepare for it's called a sacrifice, which is a wrong word to use, but there's no better English word. So it's called hutam, for which there is no English word. That means in our culture in India is that you call somebody and then you do a ritual kind and you feed people, and then there are a lot of people who feel that it's of no use, right? You don't have to do that, and Buddha calls it as a wrong view. And there are people who believe that there's no past life, so that is again a wrong view. And then there is people who believe there's no future life also, and that is a wrong view. And there are people who believe that there is nothing called as a different realm of existence. They feel that is the only realm, there's nothing else after this, right? So that's again a wrong view. So like that he talks about 10 of them. I just said one of it, that's dana. It's not that dana is not important. I never said that. I said that is a wrong view. So out of the 10 immoral, one immoral of that is miccha ditti. Okay, so there is a sutta which talks about all kind of miccha ditti, and in that Buddha says that this is one generic one, not Arya. So there are two things. So he talks about there is another sutta where he talks about 40. In that he says there is a one generic one and one specific for the Arya. So first you fix the generic one and then you come to the Arya, meaning the noble path. So before you fix the generic, you cannot surpass that and come into the Arya or the noble one. So in that he talks about these 10, that there's no point in donating, there's no point in doing this, there's nothing called as father, there's nothing called as mother, there's nothing called as somebody who can be instantly reborn, there is nothing called as a hell realm of existence. Like that it goes on. There are 10 of them, right? So that's what I actually meant. So that was your second. Speaking about Anagami, you said there's nothing that eye sees, nothing that nose smells, etc. Still there is consciousness that remains, or that knower, observer, which is perceiving that nothingness, isn't it? Okay, this is in the 7th jhana. If you were to get into the 7th jhana, and if you have surpassed the 5th and the 6th jhana, what would happen to you is that something what I explained to you about anicca, dukkha, anatta, and you will see that the eyes are not seeing anything. This total blankness, nothingness. You require a perception to then say, this is Katrina, and this is Preeti, and this is so and so, and this is my computer, this is, and comes as my computer. It's not about computer, it comes as my computer, and this comes as my place. It comes like something like that. So when we are in the fifth jhana, where we get to see the space, and in the Chula Shunyata Sutta, he talks about how to practice that. Okay, it exactly gives you the step-by-step instruction. So what it really means is that, let's say I'm sitting in this room, okay, and it is true that I'm sitting in this room. Now, what is real and what is unreal? This room presently is real, it's experiential. I can experience this room. If I turn my head this side, that side, and I know there's a room. But are there any other rooms at this point in time? The answer is no. It is shunya. That means it doesn't exist. It only exists in my mind that, okay, my wife is working in the kitchen, my son is doing that, and this is happening, and that's that. But in reality, that's not true, right? My wife would have gone out, and I wouldn't even know that she has stepped out unless I just happen to go to the kitchen and I find that she's not there. And then I give her a call, and she says that, well, you were doing this class, I didn't want to disturb you, so I thought, let me go out, right? So that might happen. So what he says is that you keep on withdrawing and seeing what is available and what's not available. So if I were to apply to myself, and right now, if I take this body is made out of two parts. One part is a solid part, another part is a liquid part. So there are 20 parts of the body which is solid, and the 12 parts of the body which is liquid, which is what is there in the Maha Satipatthana Sutta, where you do a body contemplation. And then when you do the body contemplation, the body disappears. When the body disappears completely out of sight, you get space. So now you are able to see the infinite space. You really experience what spatial means, because then the house goes away, everything goes away, and you can experience that. In that comes the now Richard has come. Hey Richard, welcome. Okay, now I can see you. Hi. Okay, so the thing is that when I get into the spatial, I can see the consciousness, the infinite consciousness. Now, at present, there are 6 conscious beings, right? We all are conscious, but presently having this kind of face and this kind of structure, which gives a feeling of a person. But what if there was no person at all? So you can just see it as consciousness. Consciousness coming into the eye, into the ear, into the nose, into the body, into the taste, and so you can feel. The person can feel consciousness everywhere. So when that happens, at that very moment, you will find that this I is not the I. There is an internal I which just appears and disappears based upon the condition. This ear has an internal ear which appears and disappears based upon the condition. If the sound is there, the ear comes. The sound is not, there's no ear. So like that you will experience. So when you experience that, you will find nothingness, which is the 7th jhana. And in that you will find nothingness. In eyes there's nothing, in the ears there's nothing, and that is what the Indriya Bhavana is all about. So if you were to go to MN 122, you will find the Indriya Bhavana Sutta, and then if you read through it, you'll find how to do it. So he explains it. And the beauty of that sutta is he explains how you should be seeing it. And that is the practice one needs to do. Now, let's say I'm not able to understand the sutta. Again, I can come back to anicca, dukkha, anatta, asubha. So I don't have to really spend my time on understanding the sutta. But if I could understand it is good, absolutely fair. Okay, see that these are three questions what you had. So let me cover what Richard has written to me, and also he had asked me yesterday. So now there are two things. One is a need and another one is a want. Okay, now there are two kinds of want. Need is you need, that's a basic thing. So let's come to want. Want has two parts to it. One is called Chanda, means desire, and one is Tanha, craving. Now Chanda is required, otherwise you cannot achieve anything. Okay, but Tanha, craving, is not required. So if I were to contemplate and see that my wants are just the desire and not craving for it, if I remove craving, then I am liberated. I can get into Arhat. Okay, so Richard, in case you meant want equals craving, then you're right. Just by working out on that, you can become an Arhat. You don't have to go through 100 different things to become an Arhat. And from wherever you have read or heard about it, it is right. It's a way of doing it. Okay, so you remove the wants and be on the need. So you have four requisites. One, you require food. Another, you require shelter. You require clothing, and you require medicine. That's all what is needed. Okay, it's not about making comfortable or uncomfortable. That's not the debate. The thing is that you require these four. Now let's say there is a mosquitoes which are biting me. Should I get bitten by mosquitoes? No, you don't have to. So you have to cover up. Oh, it's cold outside. Should I just unbutton my shirt and sit and shiver? No, you need to cover yourself up because that's a need. And for that you require a want. I want to have a sweater. I can't say that, oh, you know what, you're a bhikkhu. How can you wear a sweater? No, that is wrong. You cannot torture yourself. So you need to have a sweater or a pullover or whatever you want to have, but you need to have. So that is the need for that want. So you have to have that want to satisfy this need. Now, should I have an air conditioner? Yes, if I'm meditating in Antarctica, I need to have an air conditioner or a heater. I need to have that. Yes, nobody can question me that, hey man, why you wanted to meditate in Antarctica? I can say, look, I was born in Antarctica, so I need to have that. Right? So craving is different. Now I want a particular temperature to work. I crave for that temperature, or I crave for a particular taste. If that taste is not there, I get pretty wild. Okay, and that need is not required. That want is not required to satisfy this need. So want and need. Okay, wanting something just for wanting it to feed into the need is okay, because you have to match the need. The need is four requisites, so you need to match it, otherwise you cannot. So there are two views which Buddha talks about. One is one extreme where you torture yourself up. Another extreme is you beautify yourself up, meaning you make it so luxurious that it makes stupid decisions because of these two extremes. So we need to be in the center, majjim, in the center. Oh, what centering is all about. It's not about taking part of this and taking part of that. No. What it means is that looking at the four requisites as requisites. So I need to have a home or a place to stay. I need to have a toilet, basin. I need to brush my teeth. But these are the need, and I want the commode to be there. I want the wash basin to be there. I want the room to be there, right? So I need the room to be tidy. I will tidy it, but it has to be tidy. I can't say, hey, you know what, I am a ascetic, so let it be dirty. No, that's not what it is, because I'm going into the torturous path. Or I need to have luxurious bed. I'm going on the other side of it now. So if I don't have craving, then that's the only thing to work. So how is this craving connected? That is going on paticca or dependent origination. I crave because of the feeling, and feeling feeds onto the craving, and craving feeds onto the grasping, and grasping feeds onto the becoming, and the becoming happens with the birth of a condition, and the birth will have a decay and death and all that. So if I were to work on removing the condition of feeling, if I am on a neutral feeling, which is ignorance, I don't know there's something called neutral, but if I am on a neutral feeling, then the craving will not be there. If there is no craving, then there is no holding on or grasping. That is, upadana is not there. So if the upadana is not there, then there is no bhava, meaning to become something. I want this to become something. That is not there. If there is no becoming something, then there is no birth of that condition. Birth of the condition is that I need to go and buy something for which I need to take money. As an ascetic, I don't require to take any money. Whatever is given to me is given to me. That's it. I cannot ask more than what is given to me. So then there is no jati, then there is no jara, marana, shoka and all that. So this goes on paticca cycle. So the question what you asked is perfect. If you remove want, you will get arhat. That is perfect. That's a perfect answer I could give you. But one subtle difference is it related to craving or non-craving? If it is non-craving, there's no problem. If it is craving, then there's a problem. So you need to eliminate craving. That's the second noble truth. So the first noble truth is dukkha, and the second noble truth is the reason for the dukkha, which is craving. And the third noble truth is removal of craving. And the fourth noble truth is the steps what we have taken to remove the craving. I hope I could explain properly, Richard. I cannot hear you because you are on mute.
Yes, I think it's okay. Yeah.
Okay, great. So now continuing further from where we left yesterday is that, is Sutta an important aspect to learn, study and devote time? The answer is like this. If I am not able to get anicca, dukkha, anatta, asubha, for whatever reason, I'm not able to get it. I'm not able to understand the tilakkana, the characteristics. Then I need to focus on the sutta. Now, which sutta is important? It depends on my mentality. So what I want to cover is that what suttas is required for whom, okay, and what is nikaya meaning, what is the term nikaya means. So the first thing, sutta, it's not sutra, it is sutta. Su means good, atta means myself, which is thing which can make me good. That means which can take me from conditionality to non-conditionality. Okay, so that's called sutta. Then we come to the nikaya. It says ni plus kaya. Kaya means collection. Ni means decision making, that is called as nirnaya in Sanskrit, ninaya in Pali, which means the principles, which will, a collection of principles, which will eliminate you to continue in the samsara. That means which can take you from a normal worldling to an arhat. That is the meaning of Nikaya. It takes you from non-Nibbana to Nibbana, which means from Raga, Dvesha, Moha, the desire, the sensual desire, and the hatredness, and the delusion, to non-hatredness and non-desire for sensuality or whatever it is, and then delusion, non-delusion. So this is categorized by 5 types. One is Diga Nikaya, which is long discourses. Then Khuddaka Nikaya, which goes deeper. It's very deep but very appropriate. So Khuddaka Nikaya. Then Majjhima Nikaya is called as middle collections, and Samyukta Nikaya, and then Anguttara Nikaya. So these are the 5 collections. This Diga Nikaya, Diga is long. These are for people who have tremendous faith in Buddha, Dhamma, Sangha, but their paramis or their perfections doesn't lead. That is, if they said one liner, they cannot pick it up. Okay, they require a greater deal of effort to understand what is being said. So they require more illustrations, more experience sharing. And for those people, the Saddha Indriya is developed. But the other Indriyas, that is the Panya Indriya and the Virya Indriya and Samadhi Indriya, and all that are not developed much. Out of the 5 Indriyas, only one is fully developed, and others are not developed. For such a kind of people, the Diga Nikaya, DN1 onwards, which starts with the Brahma Jala Sutta, Mula Pariyaya Sutta. From there, it goes into Samanyapala Sutta and all that. It gives a complete guide on what is Buddha, what is Dhamma, and what is Sangha. Now, I don't have so much of patience of reading because I have a lot of, let us say, Virya Indriya. Okay. And then that means for those people, this is not going to help. This one, the Diga Nikaya, is not going to help. For them, they have to go by Majjhima Nikaya, MN, Majjhima Nikaya. Middle length suttas are going to help because they can extract the meaning. So they are in middle length between the Diga Nikaya and the Khuddaka Nikaya. So they are in between that. So this is for the Virya Indriya. So we covered the Saddha Indriya and we covered the Virya Indriya. What if somebody has good amount of Panya already developed? That means the wisdom is developed, the other things are not that much developed. For that person, Khuddaka Nikaya is the best thing. Because Ku is bad, Uddaka is to remove it. So a person already knows how to remove. What he needs to develop is the Saddha Indriya and the Virya Indriya and Samadhi Indriya and all that. Sati Indriya. So for that person, Diga Nikaya and Majjhima Nikaya might not be of much use. So he can find out through the Khuddaka Nikaya. So this is the third one, what we covered. Then comes Samyukta Nikaya. Yukta means consisting of. Samyukta means consisting of the information on how to identify what effects and what causes would create the necessary condition from conditionality to non-conditionality. How do you break that? For those kind of people who have Sati Indriya, they can remember very well. They have very good memories. So they just read the Sutta once, they can recite it as many number of times, they can reproduce it as many number of times as they can. So for them, Samyukta Nikaya, SN, is going to be of great help to them. Okay? So that gives them a foundation for those people. Then comes the Anguttara Nikaya, Anga Uttara. Okay, that means Anga is the components. Uttara is not. Actually, in Sanskrit and in Pali, it is not. What it means is that higher. So they can go by the numbered discourses because they have a lot of Samadhi. So what is the meaning of Samadhi? Samadhi means to be in a state. Nothing to do with trance, nothing to do with anything. They can maintain the state. Let's say presently my state from my talking is a very calmness. Let's say I can stay in that state forever without upsetting myself of any situation which is arising. If that is true, then Anguttara Nikaya is good for me. So whatever is there in the Digha Nikaya and Majjhima Nikaya, this person can understand it much quickly because only the numbering is required. It doesn't require any further explanation. So what should I do then is the question. The only thing I need to decide for myself is, am I having Saddha Indriya, faith, only developed? Nothing else I know. I have tremendous faith in Buddha, Dhamma and Sangha. Then that is true. Then if I read through the complete Digha Nikaya, not that I should read all the Digha Nikaya, any one of them, if I am able to read, it's sufficient. That is to say, I was talking to Katrina, we both started on the Samanya Pala Sutta, Fruits of Ascetic Life. Okay, that's a long one, a huge one, where he talks about everything. He gives the difference between the cultures, the philosophies, and the king goes around every new moon, every full moon day. He used to visit each ascetic. So he talks about all the ascetics, 6 ascetics who were there, including Gautama Buddha. So he goes to all the 5 of them and he explains what he has learned from them. And then he gives an example, a simile. If I were to ask for a butterfruit and he tells me mango, but if I ask for mango, he then talks about butterfruit. So I couldn't understand what he's trying to say. So like that, he explains in the first half. And then in the second half, the Buddha starts talking that when his question is that if somebody is already earning something for a living and is happy, is having a family, is having all that what is required, what's the fruit of an ascetic life? Why should somebody become an ascetic? And if he becomes an ascetic, what's the fruit of that? Why that person should become an ascetic? So he keeps on explaining. That's a huge one. So this is for people who have Saddha Indriya but lack in Panya or lack in Virya or lack in Sati or lack in Samadhi. So I need to see for myself, oh well, do I have Saddha, the faith, developed? Or do I have Panya, wisdom developed? Or do I have the Virya, effort developed? Or do I have Sati, the remembrance, awareness, that developed? And or have I developed Samadhi? If I have developed either one of them as predominant and the remaining things are not really predominant, I need to choose those suttas. I really don't have to go through all the 86,000 suttas. It will be foolishness on my part to go through each one sutta and try to understand, or Vinaya or Abhidhamma, and then keep on making my mind in utter confusion on what I should be doing and what I should not be doing, because my primary language is not Pali. So that means it becomes extremely tough for me to understand what is he trying to say, because I have to go to Sutta Central or some site and I need to take that Sutta and I need to choose English, and the moment I choose English I cannot understand the Pali words. I just read the English word. I cannot make in what context he's talking about. So the first thing I need to resolve for myself is to see whether I'm having faith as the strongest, or the effort as the strongest, or the wisdom as the strongest, or the sati, which is remembrance or awareness, is the strongest, or samadhi, being in a particular state, as the strongest. If I can do that, then it is good to dive into that sutta, because now I can understand. There's no problem, because it becomes very clear to me that I am having this, so I am going into those sutta. One sutta is sufficient. I don't have to go through so many suttas that okay, after this next sutta, after this next sutta. Or take Bhikkhu Bodhi's book. He has written a nice book of Majjhima Nikaya. It's around 300 pages. I can keep on reading one after the other and other, and that doesn't help me, because I cannot really put myself in what he's talking about. It might not really hit me anywhere. Why is that I'm reading a sutta is to get that moment where the bulbs open up and say, wow, this is the thing I was looking for. Now I got it. Once I get it, any sutta then I read. I don't require any interpreter. Whether Pali or no Pali, in French or in German or English or Spanish or whatever that language they write, it's okay. Whether they call anicca as impermanent or they call it as something else, I don't care, because I have now understood. With that understanding, I don't require any further thing. It will be fun to read sutta, because now I can see Buddha talking to me. So it keeps on giving me experience after experience, just like what Buddha has spoken to those people, the exact experience you're going to get. Now, how do I verify this? So he says, look, before you start on this, you need to understand one thing about me. That is, yo dhammam passati, one who sees the Dhamma. So mam passati, sees me. One who sees paticca samutpada, dependent origination, sees the Dhamma. That means, yo paticca samutpadam passati, so dhammam passati. Dhamma is the Dhamma, the teaching. And one who sees the teaching sees the Buddha. Simple. So if I were to meet a Buddha, what should I do? Well, first understand whether Digha Nikaya is suitable for you, or Khuddaka Nikaya is suitable for you, Majjhima Nikaya is suitable for you, Anguttara Nikaya is suitable for you, or which one you think, or Samyukta Nikaya is suitable for you. You choose that. Take one sutta under each category. Let's say I'm not able to make any head or tail of this, whether I have Virya Indriya or I have a Sati Indriya or this Indriya. Sorry sir, I don't know. Well, then do this. Take one sutta under each one of them. Just one sutta. Don't bother about the English translation or the German translation or a Spanish translation or a Russian translation, whatever translation. Let it be the way it is. Okay? Keep the Pali text in Latin or Russian or German or French or whatever it is. Keep that. Read that translation and try to understand the Pali, what is written there. At one point in time, you'll get the click. Here it is. I got it. That's all. Then you remove the other things. Meaning, let's say you have understood one portion of Digha Nikaya. You don't really require to go to Anguttara Nikaya and Majjhima Nikaya and this Nikaya and that. That's not for you. Or you find Samyukta Nikaya, you get that click. Now I got it. You don't require the other ones. So that will tell you what is your indriya which is developed, the faculty which is developed. Now, how do I really know what faculty to develop in the first place? Well, for that you can go to the basic one, which is anicca, dukkha, anatta, subha. Let's say I am not able to understand anything about any sutta because of the culture gap or because of whatever it is. I am not able to make any kind of relevance to me. I am not able to understand. Sorry, I am not able to understand. Fine, don't get upset. Just concentrate either on anatta or anicca. That's all. Take that as a practice. In everything you see, if you say, I'm seeing something, make it as like an anatta. If I'm hearing something, make it as anatta. Work it out. You will get the click. And I will tell you my experience. Many of my experiences, I'm not joking, many of my experiences have come to me when I am in my potty. Meaning when I'm on my, what I can say, commode, sitting on that and watching the urine and feces going by, it clicked. Okay?
Can I?
Yep. Go ahead.
It happened to me several times. I was just watching TV, and suddenly, unexpectedly, everything was seeing phenomenally. The I disappeared, and I was in the state of freedom.
Good.
And it was anicca, and I completely understood. Also, I know everything is anicca, but where I am confused, I know everything is anicca, but when I go to sleep, it disappears. In the morning, there is not phenomenal. I know from the remembrance there is only anicca, because I know it is so. But still, my mind take all the time the old remembering that one person is here. But I know this is not true.
Right.
And it happened to me a few times, yeah. And then I'm a little bit confused why the mind not correct my view in this knowing position.
Well, that is because of one problem, that there is an hindrance. Out of the 5 hindrances, there could be one of the hindrance or 2 of the hindrance which is blocking that. So when there is confusion, it is something to do with doubt. Okay, doubt appearing in the mind whether this is true or not true. So that is sufficient for it to get out. So no one.
There is no doubt.
Okay, so
I know. There is no doubt. I know it. This is true. Dharma is true.
No, not that doubt. Not that doubt. I'm not talking about a doubt on Buddha, Dhamma, Sangha. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about whether the anicca is experienced by me or not. So either that doubt comes, or it makes one feel lazy enough that he cannot understand, or it can create restlessness. That's another thing which happens, that I feel restless. Why my mind is acting in this way when I know everything is anicca? Why it is not still picking up? So that can happen. So what we need to do is to remove the 5 hindrances. So in the same sutta, the DN2, Buddha explains about how to remove the 5 hindrances. And he gives examples also. So now let's take the first hindrance, the Karma Chanda. Okay, that means sensual liking. So how should I remove that? You see that everything is decaying. So in that way, the Karma Chanda will not be there. So that's a practice what I need to do. Now, how should I practice? Well, I'm eating, I require the food. Now, when the food is shown to me, the interest starts. The taste buds anyway would come, but the interest starts. That time I know I should be aware using sati, remembrance. I need to be aware that the mind has come and it would like to taste that food. That's an hindrance. Now, if I don't do that, what happens? The relishing happens. Once it relishes, the anicca nature is gone. It translates itself into nicca because now I feel it's no longer unconditioned, or rather unconditioned. It is, or rather, I will feel no longer conditioned. I find it's unconditioned. That means I will be enjoying this food forever. That immediately happens. And the same thing with sight and sound and taste and all that. So one needs to be observant. Sati indriya should be developed. Okay, so I need to check accordingly on anicca, dukkha, anatta. What is that I'm missing? Whether which one of the 5 hindrances are coming and torturing the mind. And I have to work accordingly. I just gave an example. It's not about you, Richard. I'm just giving an example. So we need to search for ourselves the hindrance. And based upon that hindrance, I need to search for the sutta. So that is how these two will work. So let's say I'm not able to understand anatta. So there is a sutta called as Cha Chakka Sutta. 6 by 6. Okay, that's the sutta I need to just understand. I don't have to care whether it's coming from Anguttara Nikaya, is coming from Digha Nikaya or Majjhima Nikaya, whatever Nikaya it is coming. I have understood that my anatta is not proper. So now I will go and take that sutta. So once I master that sutta, going it again and again and again and again, I read through that one sutta again and again and again, it clicks. Now I got it. So when I get it, anatta is cleared. So the moment anatta is cleared, the dukkha is seen. So that's one approach. Second approach. I am not able to get into anicca, sanya, the perception. What should I do? Very simple. Read Girimananda Sutta, 10 perceptions. Just keep on reading the same thing again and again and again. It puts you in a spin in such a way that you are able to understand what is happening. So that takes you into the liberation path. You can get into the arhat state using that sutta alone. I don't have to do any other sutta. So, or I'm not able to follow. That is a huge one. So what other sutta? Well, Samyukta Nikaya provides Phena Pindupama Sutta. Okay, it talks about the foam. What's a foam? Rupa is the foam. Then he says rainwater is a feeling. Then he says the mirage is like a perception. Then he says the plantain leaf, the plantain, I just keep on removing the plantain, is a sankhara. And then the magician is the vinyan. And all are anicca. So now I can practice. So I wanted to know anicca. I have understood all the 5, the Rupa, Vedana, Sanya, Sankhara, Vijnana, the Pancha Khanda, I have understood. Once that is understood, mind drops away. So either I come to dukkha through anicca, or I can come to dukkha through anatta. So he says, Yad anityam tad dukkham, yad dukkham tad anatta, meaning to say that whatever is anicca is dukkha and whatever is dukkha is anatta. So this is how he places it. So depending upon my mental state, so what I need to do is relax, take some deep breaths, sit for 15-20 minutes and look at whether I have virya indriya, the energy faculty, high, very high, meaning I am fully energized, I can take anything I want. For that reason, if I were to go with that, Majjhima Nikaya, one sutta is sufficient. One sutta, I can select whichever that one is. It need not be this or that. One of the sutta. Or I have developed faith. Faith faculty is completely there. Not faith about Buddha Dhamma Sangha. Faith that I can reach the other shore, the Nibbana. I can reach the Nibbana. For that, Diga Nikaya is the best thing. Then my wisdom is working very well. So Sila, Samadhi, Panya. Sila, not that okay. Samadhi, not that okay. But Panya is completely done. Meaning I am able to understand. But the other two are faulty. So what I need to do? Well, Khuddaka Nikaya is going to help me in that. There are a lot of people who know the subject. If they were to be asked, do you know what is anicca? They explain. Do you know what is dukkha? They explain. Do you know what is anatta? They explain. They explain everything. But yet they fail. The reason is the samadhi is not proper and the sila is not proper. Meaning they have broken the precepts. Somehow that's not working for them. Or take my own case. I have a lot of panya. Meaning I can understand the Sutta, I can understand Pali, I can understand in English, I can understand any language or whatever it is, I can go deeper. That means Panya is there. But Sila, the morality, broken. Not that I'm not following, it's broken. I need to fix that. Or Sila is okay, but Samadhi is not okay. Meaning I cannot maintain that state. I go to the state, but it drops. I have no idea why it drops. And I am stuck. Oh my goodness. I thought about going through this deeper. Nothing is coming. But I have wisdom. But wisdom by itself doesn't help. It requires these other two, the Sila and Samadhi. So I need to be checking from morning till evening, is there any Sila I have broken? Oh yes, I told a lie. Okay, now that's one thing I did. Oh yes, there was, let's say Katrina, she has sent me a video link of a Burmese monk. And let's say I don't like him. So what did I break? Well, I have got anger, which is a hindrance. He is doing what he is doing. I don't have an authority to come and say that, look, this person is not okay. No, absolutely unfair. Not good for me. I can't blame. Without knowing that person, I cannot do a judgment. I have no authority to judge anyone at all. But I've done that. So the Sila is broken. So when I watch like that, I correct it. That's the only way to do. It's not about regretting. There's nothing to regret there. Yeah, I've broken the Sila. So I don't have to come to Katrina and say that, you know what, I didn't feel very happy about your monk. And she says, Vilas, I never expected that from you. And I say, no, it happened. Now, how did it happen? That means you are not an Anagami. So then it goes into different discussion and I get angry, which is very clear that I am not an Anagami. Because if I was an Anagami, I wouldn't get upset. If I got upset, means I'm not an Anagami. So it's very clear. Why? Because I'm not able to maintain the state. I'm getting worked up, I'm getting excited, I'm getting angry, I'm getting frustrated. That clearly shows that I'm not on the right path. Not that I'm not good. At that moment, it has broken. The sila is broken or the samadhi is broken, but only panya is there. It's not going to help. Sometimes sila is full, but there's no samadhi and there is no panya. Very good sila. I don't break even a single precept, but I don't know why I don't break it or why I should not be breaking it. Neither I know both of them. Or sometimes I'm in samadhi, but leaving the other two. That means I go to a retreat, sit, watching the breath, go into vipassana, and keep on observing. Once out of the retreat, and that's it. It doesn't work for me. So again, I have to go back to retreat. So there are people who get hooked onto the retreat, 15-day retreat, 10-day retreat, 30-day retreat, and they have to go back to the retreat. What it shows, the panya is not developed, the sila is not developed, but the samadhi is developed. So there's nothing wrong. There's nothing like, I need to get worried about it. I need to recognize that, oh, my samadhi is good. So what should I then select in the sutta? Which one I need to select? I need to select Anguttara Nikaya, because that gives clarity for the other two. And if my panya is developed, what should I do then? Well, read Khuddaka Nikaya, because your panya is developed. What if my saddha is very good? Oh, very good. Go for Digha Nikaya. So, depending upon my mental state, at that point in time, I need to decide. So, in the morning when I sit, what I need to do is that today morning, okay, so let me first start putting the precepts in a proper order. So, I start Panati Pata Veramani Sikkapadam Samadhiyami. That means for the whole day, I will not do anything which will kill or harm any living being. Let's say the mosquito comes and is buzzing. So what did I do now? I killed that poor thing. Well, that means the first sila is broken. Right now, what should I do? I am not able to understand what is a living being. So I need to work out on that. So where do I work out? I work out using the dukkha. Jati pi dukkha. Jara pi dukkha. So now I see that poor thing, due to its karma or deed, it became a mosquito and it didn't come here to eat me. It found a food. And I am also finding food. So every being requires food. It did not want it to harm me. But out of ignorance, I killed it. What I could have done? I could have moved away from that place. I could have covered myself up. Okay, something I could have done other than killing. So should I kill? No. But did I not be in samadhi? Yes, I did not. I was not in samadhi. I was not in the proper state. Then the second one, stealing. Amazon says that you buy this, there's a discount, 40% off. Now looking at Amazon.com site, even though I have everything, I want to buy 40% off. Wow! Is good for me? I say yes, why not? But it is wrong, because I am into greed. So when there is greed, I'm going to steal. That's exactly, I'm breaking my precept. So whether it's Amazon doing it or somebody doing it, it doesn't matter. I need it, I will buy it. If there is no need, there's no need to buy. So this becomes want. The greed turns itself into a wanting, because 40% off, wow, it was $300, now 40% off. It's so nice, right? So 300 into 4, $180 gone. So I need to pay only $180. Wow, this is a great thing. No, it's wrong. The second one. Now the third one. A nice pretty girl is standing there. I feel, wow, this is superb. So nice. What if I make friendship with her? There's nothing wrong. What's wrong in that? No, that creates greed. I already have a wife, so I don't have to necessarily see another girl. Or the person is already married, she's married, and she doesn't have to look another husband. That's not required, because that creates greed, basically. So the third one, through body. So I have to see in the whole day, from morning till evening, what is that I'm breaking? A girl passing by, or I go by the Apple store, even though my house is filled with Apple products, okay, I'm having MacBook and this book and that book, I still go and stand in front of that shop. Wow, I think I should have an Apple Watch. Why? What's the need? What do you mean? It's so nice. Well, wrong. It is kameshu michachara. Why? Because I am giving into senses. Same thing with the other four of speech. One is lying and slandering and all that. So I need to do that on a daily basis. Till the evening. Morning till evening. If I have done that properly, then I can see whether my Saddha Indriya is good, or a Virya Indriya is good, or my Samadhi Indriya is good, or Panya Indriya is good, or Sati Indriya is good. Then it opens up. Okay. Sometimes we get stuck because we have these 10 dasa akusala, that is 10 immoral, and they come in various proportion. You can't say by looking at a person's face that he doesn't have any of them or he has all of them. It's a mix. It's a mixed bag. Something is not there, something is there, all that is a mixed one. So that person has to clear it off, clean it up. So once he cleans it up, or tries to cleanse it up by creating that Panati Pata Veramani Sikkapadam Samadhiyami, that means I'm not going to entertain any thought which comes and says that kill this thing. I will not entertain. When I don't entertain, there's no way I can do it because I'm aware. So my Sati Indriya is developing. So when my Sati Indriya develops, that gives rise to Virya Indriya. So when my Virya Indriya get developed, and that gives rise to Saddha Indriya. When the Saddha Indriya gets developed, the Panya Indriya will be there. And when the Panya get developed, Samadhi is straightforward. So I can now go into first jhana, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seven, eight, and all that without any trouble. Because it is already fixed. It's clear. There is no roadblock of the 10 immoral deeds. So sometimes when the 10 immoral deed reduces, I am able to understand anicca nature. But the moment one of them comes up, that anicca is gone. It translates itself back into nittya. So what's the test? Here is a test I need to be doing every day, every given day. Stand in front of the mirror. I see myself. If I see myself in the mirror as the person, then it is not developed. The Dhamma is not developed beyond Sotapanna. Because I still have a possession. I love my body. So, I am a Sotapanna. That's perfect, acceptable. But I am not a Sakadagami because I have possession. I possess this body. I am tortured to see that there is wrinkles on my face. I'm tortured to see that there are some white mustaches coming here, and I'm tortured to see that the hairs are not there and the white hairs have turned up. And then people start asking me, what's your age? And I try hiding it. I say, you guess my age. And then he says 35. Wow, I feel very happy. Oh, 40. Yeah, very close, but I'm 50. You're 50? You don't seem like 50. I feel so happy. Wow. Look the way I've maintained it. Sorry, I'm not a Sakadagami. I'm wrong for myself. It doesn't matter whether I'm 50 or 40 or 30 or 80 or 70. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Or shouldn't matter. And if it doesn't matter for me, it shouldn't matter about the wife, because she's not a wife. She is another being in the samsara spending time with me. She has her way. The only thing I can do is to help her to get rid of going down into the apayas, or make her become something better. Right? So in my home, there are 3 people. One playing a role of a father, one playing the role of a son, another one playing the role of a wife. But there is no father, there is no son, and there is no wife. There are only 3 beings here. It's a monastery, if I consider that way. But if I consider to be my wife and son and myself, and then it becomes a family. So this is how I can replace the mind from its attachment. And in reality, the 2 are beings, and myself is another being in the samsara, or in this world, experiencing whatever should be experienced at that point in time. Can be good, can be bad, can be ugly, or whatever it is, but that is what it is. So if I were to do that, then my samadhi starts to develop. In bits and pieces or whatever, it gets to develop. So then I can get into Sakadagami, because now I don't have possession orientation. I don't possess. If I don't possess this body, I don't possess anything either. So let's say somebody comes and takes this computer away, I don't feel anything because I'm not possessing it anyway. Doesn't matter. So that is Sakadagami. Then I can check for myself, Anagami. If there is no possession, and as soon as I stand in front of the mirror, 2 things are going to happen. Raga and Dvesha are going to hit immediately, because there is the possession. What if no possession? Then there is no Raga and Dvesha. So there is no Karma Chanda and Vyapada. If somebody comments to me that at 50, you don't seem like 50, and I take that gift and I feel, wow, so nice. Or somebody says to me, hey, you know what? You know good Dharma. I've never heard any Dharma like this before. What should I do? Should I accept it? Or somebody says to me that your Dharma is the worst ever I've ever heard. I don't know why you do this YouTube channel and spoil people. You're the horrible character I could ever find. Okay, I don't like your videos. I really don't want you to be doing this. Okay, so 2 views are given. What should I select? The first one or the second one? The first one is pleasing. The second one is torturing. Should I convince this person that, hey, you know what? You don't know Dhamma. I know Dhamma. And then you are not able to understand my Dhamma. Or should I congratulate the first person saying that, hey, you are doing a good job to me because you are appreciating all of my videos. I feel so happy. That clearly shows I am still a Sotapanna, because there is possession. I am possessing the comments. It's my video. It's my comment. No, absolutely not. Buddha Dhamma is not defined by me. Buddha Dhamma is Dhamma. It's not my Dhamma. So when I see that, I know I'm going on the wrong path. It's not on the right path. Meaning, Sotapanna is fine, but you're not at Sakadagami. Forget Anagami, not even Sakadagami. So I need to keep on checking on a daily basis. What's happening? Which precepts have I broken? And fix that. Once I start fixing like that, then I have to go to this sampajanya, which is being in awareness of what is happening while standing, while sitting, while bending, while taking food, or while wearing dress, or whatever. That gives me many views of my personality, depending upon what's happening. So when I do that, the third one, Indriya, automatically falls in place. Why? Because I'm not giving any importance or any value to the Indriyas. So that comes to 0 point. And when that happens, the five hindrances automatically drop. Because there is no energy any longer. So now the consciousness is pure and bright. Then I can work from Sakadagami to Anagami, and Anagami to Arhat is when I get the psychic powers. Not because I have become an Anagami, a Sakadagami. And the question now, I already have psychic powers. Yes, it has come from your past life. Good, keep it. Absolutely fair. No, I don't have it. Don't worry, you don't require it. It doesn't matter whether you have it or doesn't have it, because it again becomes a possession. I have psychic power. Okay, and in the case of Mahamoggallana, what he did is that he showed one of the bhikkhu how to use psychic power. So to show the psychic power, what he did is that the bowl, the food bowl, he made it stand up and pull it down without anybody climbing up. So they all were very happy. Wow! So Buddha disciples can show psychic powers. And Buddha then tells Moggallana that don't ever do this again. You're not here to display your psychic powers. It comes, but it's not for display. Don't do that. And from then onwards, none of the Buddha disciples show their psychic powers, even if they were prompted, even if they were intimidated that you don't know it. They just used to smile at them and leave it, because that becomes an hindrance by itself. So if somebody says to me that, do you have psychic powers? I can say yes. If somebody says that you don't have a psychic power, I can say, okay, no issues. I don't have to display. Because that's not what we are going towards. So, but you'll get it. So some people get psychic power at Sotapanna. Some people get it at Sakadagami. Some people get it at Anagami. And all of them would get it at Arhat. That's for sure. Whatever he has mentioned in the Digha Nikaya, the psychic powers, you will get it. Meaning you're not going behind it. It's the fruit of ascetic life. You will get it. It's not that you wouldn't get it at all. You will get it. So I need to now see for myself which sutta is good for me. I don't know how to do it. Or read all one of them. One from Anguttara Nikaya, one from Digha Nikaya, one from Majjhima Nikaya, one from Samyukta Nikaya, like that. It helps. And one from Khuddaka Nikaya. Whether it's English translation, German translation, whichever translation, doesn't matter. Whatever translation. It really shouldn't matter. Because you will get it. You will get it irrespective of who has written it, what has been written. You will get it. Then the failure mode analysis. I tried, it didn't work. No problem. Work on Anicca Dukkha Anatta. That's all. You don't have to do anything further. After I have found the Anicca Dukkha Anatta, what else to do? Yes, now you study the suttas. You will enjoy. Because now you can see whether these 5 indriyas have developed and to what level has it developed. So it's easy in that way. So that's how to practice. That's how I have practiced and found a great deal of benefit. Not that, I know Pali, but that doesn't mean that that is the only thing which helped me to get into understanding. No, it's not true. I might have done my doctorate in Pali, but that doesn't mean that I would understand all that what Buddha is talking about. It's not true. I might intellectually understand it because Pali language as such since I've done my doctorate in Pali, it becomes easy because I have learned that language. But that really doesn't promise me that I have experienced it. It only tells me that I can understand the language. It's just like, I will understand, I learn French or German or Spanish or Italian or Swiss or whatever that language is, and I can converse. That doesn't promise anything else other than talking. I'm able to express in that language. I'm able to express my emotion in that language than anything else. So Pali is another language. So I don't have to put so much of effort on Pali, but if I can read Pali, it is good. I'm not saying that's the mandatory thing. That's the most important thing is to learn Pali. No, that's unfair because Buddha Dhamma has got nothing to do with Pali. It is Dhamma. It is language independent. It is situation independent. It doesn't matter whether I'm a Indian national or a Swiss national or a German national or an American national or some national. It doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. Whether I'm a fair skin or a dark skin or a short person or long person or this person, no, it doesn't matter. Absolutely shouldn't. Yeah, go ahead.
I think you go to, most of the thing what you are telling I already know. Because I read all Pali Canon and it brings nothing, I think. Yeah, it's I need something that is exactly on me, not because. This knowledge, what you now explain, I have it already. I'm 75 years old and I know almost everything. I need only the I don't know. I have also different opinion. This is new for me that you are telling now. That the Sila and Samadhi must be perfect, because I was thinking myself, it must be not, because I have to also lie when I come to some situation when I am dealing with kings, with government. And to protect me, I have to lie, because they are more in power. And then I think, I don't know when I'm right or not, but I think it has no influence, such a lying, on my panya, or maybe you are right, I don't know. I have to check it, yeah. But what I need some punctual guidance. Yeah. When I was experienced the state of freedom, I know exactly how anatta is. I don't experience, but I know it because I see the thinking was like only one phenomenon. Also, it was is to me true, but I cannot experience all the time. Yeah, I still, the thinking is still normal, but when I am state of anatta, there is no dukkha there.
Right.
Because it's very pleasant, yeah.
Absolutely.
Because I am very happy that in the state of anatta, I feel, I see I am on the way. But when I am not in this state, then I see I am missing the way.
Yes, so now you answered your own question. So it's like this, what you said is right. See, we can remain in that state for a short period of time. So there are two factors. One is the sila. If you look at any sutta, he talks about the sila or the 10 immoral deeds. That is the hindrance. Whether I tell lie for good reason or bad reason, whether I do this for good reason or bad reason, it doesn't matter. But that is a hindrance. I'm not trying to say that is the only thing which has happened. No. But again, I said to you that if you look at the 10 of them, they will not be in the same quantity. It's not that they all are equal. There would be something which is very less, something more, something less, like that. So during that state, you will experience anatta. And it's a beautiful state to be in. I agree with you, because there's no dukkha, because there's no you left to experience anything.
Yes.
But that cannot be sustained. That is what Samadhi is all about. So if you understand the Buddha Dharma, it goes by three things: Sila, Samadhi, Panya. Everything goes by that three. Okay. So if by chance my Sila is broken for whatever reason, I need to fix that. That's all what I'm trying to say. So I'm answering to your question, why you are not able to sustain is that you need to fix the one which is broken, and you need to be in Samadhi. Like you were in Samadhi for a short period of time, and in that time you experience anatta. But why you cannot persist, why you cannot continue? Because there's a hindrance, the 5 hindrances. One of that hindrance will hit upon that at that point in time, depending upon the 10 immoral deeds, what we have. So each person knows for himself his own or her own weakness. So we need to fix that. And once you fix it, your Samadhi is done. You can be in that state irrespective of whatever it is. So Richard, I can do one thing. Okay, now I understand your case. So it's like this. There are only 4 things what Buddha talks about in every sutta. Okay, one is that remove the 10 immoral deeds. That's the first thing. Second, he talks about it, be in that state in every posture. Okay, and the third one he talks about is withdrawing the senses from the sense object. And the fourth one he talks about is removal of hindrance. These are 4 things. In every sutta you will find some reference to that, right? So you need to see from tomorrow, let's say, what is your state of mind? Now that you're 75-year-old, you look at what is the state of your mind. What is getting broken? Fix that, that's all. Nothing that you need to feel bad about it or you need to feel worried about it. Don't do that. You just fix that. And in a period of time, when we say a period, it's just like a week or 10 days time, you'll see that your Samadhi improves. Meaning your state, being in that state of anatta and anicca, improves. It's not that I have not faced this problem. Whatever problem you have faced, I have faced the same problem. And I've also experienced anatta. I've also experienced anicca. But it doesn't stay for long. That's the problem. The problem is that not that I'm not experienced or none of us can experience. The problem is we cannot be in that state. The objective is to stay in that state, not get, irrespective of what is happening outside, that state should remain. That's Samadhi. So I need to see what is getting broken and what is getting added as a hindrance. I need to remove that. So the answer to your question is, let's say you have spoken lies some time ago, that leave it. From tomorrow onwards, what you can do, right? You set that up. You forget about the past. You don't bring the past into existence that at that time I had informed and now this is what it is. No, don't do that. Now from tomorrow you do that within 7 days. That's what the Mahasatipatthana Sutta also talks about. And it's going to work out. If you see, there's a standing example. You look at Angulimala. He killed so many people, but he was able to become an arhat. So it doesn't really matter whether I told lie yesterday or day before yesterday, or I did this or I did that. It doesn't really matter. What is that I'm doing right now? That's most relevant than what I did yesterday or what I did some time ago. When I was working, I had to tell some lies because of the government agencies or the country I'm staying in or the place I'm staying in. I might have done many things which shouldn't be done, but why bring it now? It's not required. So what I need to do is, from morning till evening, fix that up. If something is getting broken, fix that up, fix that up, fix that up. And then in 7 days, you will see, you will be in anatta. What you explained is correct. Anatta experience is right. You will not have you with you at all. It's a beautiful experience. Nothing can give you that experience. Meaning, if somebody gives you $1,000 or $1 million, it doesn't make any sense to take $1 million because you don't exist. If you exist only, you require that 1 million. So there's no dukkha. I appreciate that. You've experienced it. So you do this. It works. And from my experience also, it has worked. It has taken hardly any time to bring it back. But it has broken. I know I have broken it. So it is my responsibility to fix it. So that's what I can say. So one single thing, if I were to tell you, is it's not about, I know that you know about you. What I'm trying to explain is that you don't require to have Pali knowledge to do this. Just see whether something is getting broken, fix that up. It's just like, the pipe is broken, fix the pipe. That's all. Then the water will not flow out. You just fix that. Once you fix that, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. This I know because I know many people who didn't even read. They don't know Pali Canon and they reach such a high state. Also,
yes.
I know that is possible. Yeah. And even I am not very good person, but even then I could experience Buddha Dhamma. It means that there is it works.
Yes, it works.
It works some different way.
No, it's not like that, Richard. See, the thing is like this. Let's say I'm a very bad person, or I had a very bad upbringing, or I got bad friends, right? Let's say like that, or a bad company. Now, when I come in contact with Buddha Dhamma, it changes, right? So from the bad, suddenly I start becoming good. So once I start, see, the good and bad are there with me only. It's not there with somebody else. So when I change my attitude from bad to good, everything starts working, and I feel so interested because it's working. And Buddha Dhamma doesn't care whether you're a bad person or a good person. It doesn't really matter what person I am. What matters is what is my state of the mind. If I am not allowing bad thoughts to appear, it doesn't matter what I did in my past, whether I stole something, or I cheated on somebody, or I did this or I did that. It doesn't really matter.
I mean, when you start to practice, when you start to watching the anicca, then you fulfill all the precept, because you make nothing wrong anymore. You just follow the anicca.
That's correct.
Also,
That's correct.
by following anicca, after sometimes, also I was Buddha was telling, when the monks coming together, they should keep no silence, and when they have to speak, they should speak only about Dharma.
Right.
And this I did not understood. And one day I was starting to read the Dharma, the Suttas, and after 14 days I was experienced that my mind was clearer and clearer. Also, then I understood what it's make to follow the Dharma. Also, it's now I understood why Buddha tell you should have in your mind only Dharma.
Yes, absolutely. So the thing is that if we maintain noble silence and only talk about Dhamma, there is no way you can break the precepts. Right? So
Yes.
when we engage in the world outside, there are all chances of breaking the precepts. So now I need to check how long I can be in the state, okay, of anatta or anicca. It is only known to me, it's not known to anyone, right? I need to fix what is broken. So the 5 hindrances have to be removed and the 10 immoral deeds have to be removed. And then I have to see what is causing that not happening. I need to fix that. It need not be A, B, C, D, E. It can be anything. It's okay. But that experience has to be extended for the whole day. So another way of doing it is what Buddha says, that maintain silence. If any worldly talk is spoken to you, just maintain silence. Don't indulge. And if somebody wants you to talk only on Dhamma. Don't talk anything else. Because the moment you keep on talking on Dhamma, there is no way you can break the precepts. Meaning, even if I have previously broken the precepts, it's okay. But now you're not breaking the precepts. So that's an alternative. So in Buddha Dhamma, you have a lot of alternatives. If this is not working, then you have an answer in this. If that is not working, then you have an answer in this. But ultimate aim is your Sila, Samadhi, Panya is going to be perfect. Then you can experience Anicca, Dukkha, Anatta and everything. So that will release you from the suffering of the normal being to an Arya, which is a noble. So it really works. Whether what I did in the past has got no relevance of what I am now. Like what you were in the past has got no relevance what you are now. And glad to know that you have studied the Pali Canon. Beautiful, excellent on that. So what you need to do is, having known all of that, fix wherever it is breaking, and then you should be done. So what I wanted, because Katrina had a question that is it necessary for me to go through Sutta? She's enjoying it, but still the question is, should she do Sutta? There's no need. Or does she need to know Pali? There's no need. Okay, it is not based upon language or custom or tradition or whatever. Dhamma is just a Dhamma. It has got nothing to do with anything, right? So if you know it, it is good. If you don't know it, it doesn't matter. Meaning I need not function on all the sutta. So today I wanted to give a clarification to Katrina that this is the
Sorry.
5 things. Pardon?
No, I I was tell Katrina that sorry that I intervened in.
No. It is fine because your question was only on the want and the need. So that was the only question. So I answered. She had many questions, so I wanted to answer that as well. Okay. So you're right that you have experienced anatta and you know what is anatta, right? So now if you're not able to stay in that state, that means samadhi is broken, and samadhi is broken because of sila. So you need to fix something over there to have the samadhi, and you know it better because you know what you're breaking, just like I know what I'm breaking. So to answer to Katrina is that she doesn't have to know Pali. Okay, that's the first.
Yeah, I agree.
Yes, she doesn't have to read all the Pali canon. That's not required. That's another thing.
Yes.
Right? And there is no need to read all the suttas. No. So today I wanted to give her clarity that there are 5 indriyas and this is divided by 5 indriyas. Okay. Now if I am not able to understand or if I am not able to pick it up, it's fine. You just work on anicca dukkha anatta. That's all. Just like what you said, Richard. You have to experience either anicca or anatta. Once you experience that, it automatically follows through. You don't have to do any damn thing out of there. It works. It doesn't matter whether I was a thief in my previous few years ago, or I was having many girlfriends with me, or I was enjoying with drinks and parties and other things, or I was not knowing anything at all. Now that I'm in Buddha Dharma, all those will stop for good, because I have enjoyed the one which is unconditioned. The remaining things are all conditioned. So the mind will not go back to condition because it has experienced something which is unconditioned. So you, having experienced Nibbana, you just don't get back to that thing which is torturous. You will see for yourself. But yesterday we had this discussion, so I told of the 4 things. I wanted to continue on whether one should require Pali. No, absolutely not. If you learn it, it's good, but that doesn't mean that that's a prerequisite. No, absolutely not. It's no way. And secondly, should I read Sutta? No, you don't have to. If you read, it's good, but that doesn't mean that you have to read all the suttas. So then start from the morning and keep on reading. No, that doesn't work. You get bored. After some time, you feel so terrible that, oh my goodness, I'm only spending time in reading. That's not required. And like in Sri Lanka, they keep on going to the desana. That means they go and hear to discourse. That's not required either. You require only one. The one which makes you feel clicked. Ah, I got it. That's all what is required. Whatever you do after that, you fix things up. Because you have got that little bit. Now you want to extend. So when you want to extend, you know where it is breaking. So either the 5 hindrances are not making that happen, or the 10 immoral deeds are coming in the way. So I either fix this or fix this. Things will start working. Okay, it's already 10:20. So here, I think it would be in the afternoon for you, or evening now at your place.
Now is
almost 6 p.m.
Ah, okay.
10 minutes, 5 o'clock, 50 minutes. Yeah.
Okay, you're at 5:50 and we are at 10:20. Wow. Okay. And the other two, yeah, the other two have gone silent. It's between Richard and Katrina and myself, and the other two are saying, okay, when is he going to stop? I mean, when is I'm going to stop so they can go to sleep. So it's fine. So it's good that we could speak. So tomorrow we'll take the other topic, the last topic I wanted to talk about, on how do we come there? How do we reach there? How do we see for ourselves all the 4 things and the fruits thereof. So we'll take that tomorrow. So that would end our first level, and then we can go individually, meaning we can see what helps an individual based upon his or her type. and we can work out on that. So we can have a one-on-one session, which will also help me to understand you, and it will help you to understand me, and we can do the journey together.
Okay, thank you very much. Yeah.
Namo Buddhaya. Yeah, thank you. Thanks, everyone. Bye.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.